Welcome to the Drumwell podcast. I've got a very special guest today, Mr. Dave Haley, drummer of Psycroptic, the Amenta, King, Crisis Act, Abramelin, Werewolves, and more.
Thanks, Toddy.
How you going, mate?
Good.
Yeah.
It's exciting and awesome to be here in my house.
Yes, yep. We've set up in the study. It's very cozy. Perfect spot for what is actually my first guest on this podcast. When I thought about doing this podcast, you were the first guy I thought of. So
Awesome. That's
yeah, I thought very fitting to be doing the first one with you. So
nice one.
Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
very honoured, excited. Yeah, hopefully it's cool for.
It'll be good for us, and hopefully other people get something out of it too.
There we go. You took
Yep.
the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, just like meatloaf. Well, let's dive straight in. So the gist behind this whole thing is just what drummers have to do to stay in shape and sort of keep their body in prime condition to do what we do. You know, it's sort of like running a marathon every time you play a set. So
Yeah, it's insane, and no one really tells you that when you pick up the sticks.
No, especially when you start listening to extreme drumming and metal and going, oh, I want to do that.
It's like that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So what have I got to do that?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a lot.
It is, especially, I found, especially like in my 20s, I could just sort of, do whatever.
Same. Yeah, same.
Jump in. I didn't really warm up that much. I kind of, started doing that mid-20s, I guess.
Yeah, I think the whole warm-up thing, probably started it just because everyone else was doing it. It's like,
Exactly.
they're warming up.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that too.
Yeah.
But now it's like it's mandatory.
Oh, has to.
Mandatory,
Yeah. I've got a full routine, which changes depending on what my body's doing. Yeah, so that's interesting. Like, let's dive into the first sort of question is, like, what sort of exercises do you do away from the kit to stay in shape? Obviously, for me, I do a lot of core and stuff to keep my back healthy, lots of squatting. I try to do cardio. I used to run a lot, actually, inspired by your running. I started getting into that.
Yeah.
I do a lot more bike riding now.
Okay. Yeah.
But what about yourself?
Yeah, I think the thing that resonated with me most was running. When you decide at whatever age I need to get fit.
Yeah.
I think mine was around the late 20s. I'm like, I've got to do something.
Yep.
So I just rolled into a gym, went up to the counter and said, I don't know anything. Help, basically. And a super nice dude there, he showed me all the machines. And I think, one of the first one that I figured out how to kind of use was the treadmill.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, this is the one.
Sweet.
Tried the bikes and other machines and whatnot. And, doing some random strength and conditioning stuff, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
So running was the one that I kept coming back to, and it was just in the gym a few days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really serious. It's just like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I've got to do something. And then that kind of, I guess, evolved a little bit more into, okay, let's try to bring some quote unquote metrics into it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to run for 25 minutes non-stop.
Mm-hmm.
I start running on the road as opposed to running on a treadmill.
Yeah.
So it's just incremental steps. Excuse the pun.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty much naturally evolved into almost a daily thing. So I'll probably run 5 days a week.
Yep.
Anywhere between 7 to 10 kilometers.
Nice.
Still, don't really know what I'm doing, but I've brought the metrics into it, using things like Strava and just to keep track of it, and to have a sticky beak at what other people are up to as well. It's turned into a cool, both physically motivating and mentally motivating practice, so to speak. So
Yeah.
it's gone from, okay, I have to do something because I feel like shit, to now, okay, it's exercise, but I'm getting all these mental benefits.
Totally.
Yeah. So I do that. That's probably 5 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to do some strength and conditioning stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 days on a good week, if I can fit everything in.
Yeah.
So at the quote unquote the compound,
the warehouse,
the warehouse, the studio. We've got a fully stocked gym in there.
I've seen that. It looks mad.
So it's killer. So I feel bad if I don't use it.
Well, if you're there and
it's all there.
If the thought's there, you might as well just do it. Because by the time you've thought about it, you could have done it.
Exactly. Exactly. So on a good week, a very good week will be, okay, run 5 days, and then I'll do 3, maybe half an hour, 40-minute gym sessions.
Yeah, sweet.
And then randomly I'll just do a set of however many push-ups or whatever.
Yeah.
Just something to always be moving.
Yeah.
It's gone from something that I dread to something that I'm bummed out if I don't get to do. So if I don't exercise for that day, I find it very hard to sleep. I'm agitated. Especially if I don't exercise and play drums. It's a recipe for fucking disaster.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's evolved into something very cool.
Yeah. Because I mean, I was running a lot before my sort of back flare-ups happened, and loved it for like even learning music I was working on.
Yeah.
You're just in the zone. You're in the moment.
Yeah.
One foot in front of the other.
Just get it done.
Yeah.
Like at the time, it's horrendous, and I hate it.
The thought, it's going out, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna go for a run, and then when
as soon as you're out the door, it's like, well, this is happening now.
Yeah.
But the benefits,
It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's mad. Like I've changed it to not an optional thing.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, it was like, maybe we'll go and do it. But now it's
got to happen.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
Mandatory.
Yeah, and it's you notice the difference because I try to have a day off every week.
Yeah.
And I always notice the next day my body doesn't move as well as it has all week because I work a fairly physical day job as well.
Yeah.
I do a lot of core sort of weights, deadlifts and squats basically.
Okay.
And then all the other bits and pieces. Get a pushy ride into work and always moving. And then that day I have off, we might go to the shops, might do a couple of things around the house, but it's like R&R day.
Yeah.
And stiff the next morning.
And even mentally, there's like a fog that creeps in.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I don't like. I'm like, I'm just not as quick, I can't find that word that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Onward from that, diet. Anything special, or you eat Big Macs every meal?
Well, a diet isn't where I want it to be, if I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah.
Like I like a couple of trinkets here and there, a couple of sweet treats. Again, if I'm on a good week, I'll probably eat close to keto.
Right.
And some tours I'll actually do all keto.
Right.
But that's rare.
Yeah.
I'm lying to myself if I say I'm on the diet, because I'm fucking not.
Yeah.
But I do eat a lot of meat. I've just started like supplements and things like that. Protein powder and all that sort of stuff. But I've got a sweet tooth, unfortunately. So I am trying to, I guess, phase that out.
Yeah.
Somewhat, but for the amount of exercise I do live it up a little bit here and there.
I guess it's sort of it just depends on how your body works too. Like if you're looking after yourself 90% of the time, what's a couple of treats here and there,
Yeah, that's how I get around it. But who am I kidding? I feel like shit. The next morning I wake up.
You get that sugar sort of...
fuck, I feel like I've got a hangover.
Sugar hangover, yeah.
Oh, and that's one thing I've definitely phased out, is drinking. Like I pretty much
Me too.
Pretty much don't drink alcohol. I wouldn't say I'm straight edge at all.
No, like I'll have a beer.
Yeah, like a social beer here and there, but
it's rare that I'll have two.
I can't remember the last time I had a drink.
I remember the last time I was drunk, which was 2016, because I was I'm like, nah, that's it. I gotta take a break. Yeah. And that kind of started my whole health kick. Yeah. Started doing 7-minute workouts, running, all that.
Yeah.
And then was in good shape, but then the back thing happened a couple of years ago.
So what actually happened?
Well, I just had this niggling back pain for a few years of my 30s, late 20s, early 30s. Nothing major. It's just like little niggle.
Bit of something there.
Yeah, and we were laying turf at our house, and it was a big day, and I was lifting a lot of turf. And that night, my back was real sore, and I had like some back spasms. And went to bed, and it was fine the next day. But yeah, that sort of continued for a while, which is where I ended up going to get an MRI, see a neurosurgeon who recommended this functional movement course, so I did that. That was like 8 weeks, twice a week. And they basically tell you to stop doing everything you're doing. So I'd basically stopped running already because it was just the inflammation. And then I was still doing exercises, but like more stretching stuff to make my back feel good so I could get through the day. Anyway, this guy, I was thinking, he's going to want a cortisone or surgery or whatever. And no, he goes, I've got this course that I've designed with exercise physiologists and physios, and we just teach you to move properly. And then basically the fundamentals are like neutral spine always, and then hip hinging and squatting. So deadlifts and squats.
Like pretty functional stuff.
Yeah, really functional. So it's it basically teaches you how to move again. So you keep your toes forward and knees straight, and
so it's just trying to eliminate bad habits that have crept in.
Yeah, because I guess we all have slouches. I'm slouching right now as I speak about this. We all have those sort of habits ingrained, and
I guess that's one thing. I guess bringing it back to the drums, that's by default. I never really thought about it, but my posture is pretty good on the kit. It's always been pretty good, unintentionally. Like that's just how I learned some of the techniques. It's like, they work when my body's like this. So I've avoided any sort of back issues thus far on the kit.
Yeah,
which is
because I guess early on for me it was I probably didn't have good posture, and I didn't have good technique either. I just kind of, because I did marching band stuff in school, just standing up, and then when I actually went, all right, well, I can't find a drummer, I'll play drums.
I want to be the drummer,
I just kind of started playing, and then you learn those techniques. The one thing that changed a lot for me behind the kit was Flo Mornier's DVD, Extreme Metal 101, and I just made a few adjustments, and suddenly I could play easier and faster, and then I started going down that rabbit hole of techniques. But back then in the mid 2000s, it was all DVDs. There wasn't really
no YouTube.
No, nothing. I had a VHS of Mike Portnoy in spandex. I had all these drum videos.
Me too. Yeah. And you'd hunt around, and it's like, someone's got the Derek Roddy DVD.
Yeah,
Can I borrow it?
Now that whole Flow one's all on YouTube. I just prefer people to that now.
It's great. It's great. Yeah.
But definitely, like you were saying, I really have adjusted again my kit so that my posture is really perfect. I'm not twisting around too far. I just kind of sit there. A few people actually commented last tour, King Parrot did, about how it just looks like I'm sitting there still and everything's moving around me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is what I was sort of going for.
I guess having that lower center of gravity.
Yeah.
That's, again, unintentionally.
Yeah.
It's like, my legs work better and my arms work a little bit better